Sign up for the weekly PressBox email newsletter with the latest Baltimore sports information presented by Toyota. Just go to PressBoxOnline.com and submit your email address today. And welcome back to Inside PressBox. Joining me now is the newly named head coach of Towson men's basketball team, Pat Skerry. And Pat, thank you very much for coming on with us.
It's great to be here.
It really, I could tell that this means so much to you to get back to being a head coach. Tell us a little bit. You were a head coach, what, at Division III when you were like 23 years old or something?
I was actually 26 years of age. I was a head coach at Curry College, which is a small Division III school just outside of Boston, and it was great. It was like a great laboratory to go to work, make mistakes, and learn from it and get better. But I always felt a place in my heart for Curry for giving me that opportunity.
Now, I'm just curious. So did you say, I want to do this, but on a bigger stage, so I'm going to set in motion what I have to do, which is like 10, 12 years of being an assistant, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have a tremendous opportunity here at Towson, and obviously you think back for when you were a head coach at the small college level and what you did well, what you didn't do well, and then obviously had the last 13 years being an assistant at the Division I level and working for some terrific head coaches. You try to take a lot from them and then put your own imprint on the program. You know, I really believe teams are a reflection of their coaches.
I couldn't agree more with you. The first thing a guy as the foremost school in the state, Maryland, people have been focused on their new coach the past week, putting together a staff. Now, you did it pretty good, too, and you got a couple real nice names on your staff, and Kevin Clark and Dwayne Simpkins, who played at Maryland.
Absolutely. We're excited about all our guys on staff, and we're just about finished with that. But Kevin Clark is a veteran coach that is, he and I worked together at the University of Rhode Island where we had great success. He was at St. John's, George Washington. He's also the interim head coach at St. John's for a year. To get him was a great help. And then we have got Dwayne Simpkins coming on board, who was the Matha guy, great player for Coach Williams at Maryland. And then Luke Murray, a young rising assistant coach who's worked for Danny Hurley at Wagner, Sean Miller at Arizona. So some, really aggressive recruiting guy with strong contacts.
Now, Pat Kennedy, your predecessor, didn't leave the cupboard real full, but you also lost a player, Filiar, I think.
Isaiah Fillmore, yes.
He left. But, and without getting into the names right now, we'll get you on later in the summer when you can mention all of them. But you've jumped out there. I think you've got 6 kids already committed?
We've got a lot of new guys committed. We'll have quite a few new faces next year, and we're not done recruiting yet. But I think we're going to be able to put a longer, more athletic team out on the floor, especially in the perimeter. We've got to get good quickly defensively, and to do that we've got to get some hard-nosed guys with some length that can cover ground. So we're excited about some of the pieces we've had, and a lot of young guys. With that comes some growing pains, but they'll have a chance to play and play through mistakes early.
Are you trying to also get one of your players, I forget his name, back eligible? I think he redshirted last year.
Rob Nwanku actually
yeah.
redshirted last year. Came to Towson as a walk-on, and then 2 years ago led the CAA in both rebounding and block shots. So we're looking forward to hopefully Rob handles his business the right way and getting him back on the court.
Do you know the athletic director well over there? I might put a good word in for
Go right, yeah, please, let's do that.
I'm just kidding. What's the chemistry like between you and Mike? Obviously, he hired you. He takes not a risk, but I mean, he puts his neck on the line. You guys are now marching in tandem.
Absolutely. I mean, Mike Waddell's a big reason why. He is the reason why I'm here. I loved his energy from the get-go, and that
You had that incredible line. You said he'd make a cup of coffee scared.
He does. He
nervous.
He's got. I think I have energy. His energy's off the reservation, but he has great plans, not just for men's basketball, but for the entire athletic department. And you've got great familiarity with Towson University. We've got a super product there. And now it's time for the athletics to raise the bar, and everyone's on board to do that. And Mike has some great visions of how that's going to happen.
I thought Jerry Sandusky at the groundbreaking said something that was really profound about Towson athletics. Sometimes it takes somebody from the outside to come in with the attitude that we're big time, rather than thinking of us as small little Towson. You know, I mean, Towson is a sleeping giant.
I believe that. I mean, I had a super assistant coaching job at the University of Pittsburgh working for an unbelievable coach in Jamie Dixon. But I looked at the Towson job and having some familiarity with the CAA, And like once again, with this new arena coming in, and Mike Waddell and our campus, our area, our academics, there's not much we don't have.
I think it's important, not that you got the job through any kind of, what's the word, nepotism or anything like that, but there is a unique relationship that your sister-in-law or something like that works at Towson, so you had a clearer understanding of the potential there.
Yep, my mom's remarried, so my stepdad's daughter works in the nursing program, and was able to ask her some questions, just about the area, the school, and all favorable responses, obviously.
Your predecessor, again, I mentioned him, he's got the same first name, Pat Kennedy. Have you talked to Pat? Was it awkward, or, I mean, did Pat say
I have not spoken to him yet. I have tremendous respect for Coach Kenny. I hope I can come close to winning the amount of games that he's won.
Yeah, he did win a lot of games.
And I've spoken to some guys that have been on his staff, and, they did a good job. I think this last year they had some injuries, the ball didn't bounce their way a few times, but they've certainly, over the course of his tenure here, and his entire coaching career, recruited some super talented guys.
Last question I've got for you today, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you, because I think you really are going to do a great job over at Towson. I don't say that lightly. The AAU game, there seems to be this feeling, because Maryland's going through it now. They hired 2 guys that are connected to Baltimore, Washington. Does that have to be unclean? Can you get players that deserve to be in your college and do the right things?
Absolutely you can, and especially in this area, there are some terrific AAU programs and AAU coaches that do things the right way and push their kids to the right type of schools and have concern about the academics and really developing the student athletes. So sometimes AAU gets a bad name, and maybe 1 or 2 guys don't do it the right way, but the majority of the guys are really in it for the kids.
All right, and you're an Oriole fan now, right? And
big
a Raven fan?
Big time, big time.
I know you're a Red Sox and Patriot fan. We thank Pat Skerry for stopping by, and we'll look forward to getting to know him down the road, and we'll be back with more after this. The men's lacrosse Final Four is being held at M&T Bank Stadium this very weekend, and you can get the latest lacrosse news at csnbaltimore.com. You can track the Terps as they make their first Final Four appearance since 2006 by visiting csnbaltimore.com.